Here is the battery gauge for the CyberPower ups that I'm going to be putting a new battery pack in. This thing's been plugged in for a couple years now, maybe 3 years. I don't even know how long, probably 2, 3, 4 years. And it just shut off again. You can see it's plugged in, but it just shut off, and you can see the bottom thing, the battery charger, the battery capacity, it's all the way down at the bottom. Now it should be all the way up at the top because it's plugged in. It's really hard to see there's this thing. It just went off. 1, 2, 3. There's five things on the bar and on the bar graph, and it just zeroed out. Can I make it light up again? Okay, so it just there's no battery capacity left in this thing. There's 2 batteries in there. I bought 2 batteries. I'm going to be taking this thing apart. I'm going to show you how to put new batteries in it. I'll give you the model number, the battery numbers, the amperage and everything. I believe that this has got cut. I have a CyberPower Ups unit here. I purchased this at Costco a few years ago. These things are great. Let me show you the back of it. This is the side. It's a little dusty. It's been sitting out collecting dust till I bought some batteries. I have 2 of these. And at the beginning of the video, you should have seen I believe I showed you at the beginning of the video, you saw a clip showing the battery display and how it was not working. So the problem that I'm having is I've got all of my computer stuff connected up to the ups, and in the middle of the night, it will just start going beep. And that is the alarm showing that the battery is completely dead inside the unit and it is not going to work anymore. And I have to power it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to replace the battery in these. If you like my videos, do a thumbs up, subscribe, a like. If there's a product you want me to review, if I can get a hold of it, I will do the review. And if you want to donate to my PayPal channel to keep me going, if you want to donate to my PayPal account to keep my YouTube channel going, ask for my info. So here we go. I'm going to set this up on the tripod, and we're going to take this thing apart, and I'll show you. I didn't buy an original CyberPower battery. They are about twice as expensive as if you buy an off-brand third-party battery, and the only difference, I believe, is 1 amp difference. So it is not worth the money to buy the manufacturer's battery. All right, let me get this on the tripod and we'll start taking it apart. So you take these things apart dependent on the model number. What you want to do is you want to look at the bottom. This is the bottom of the case. You want to look at the bottom. Some of these units have 2 screws at the front, and you take the 2 screws out and then you fold the front upward and you slide your 2 batteries out of the front. I'm looking at the bottom of this, and it looks like there's a screw over here and a screw over here. So I'm assuming that the bottom is going to come out, or maybe this whole side is going to slide off. So let's see what happens. Large head Phillips screwdriver so you don't strip anything. And take your screws out. You don't want to be messing with the back of this unit. You don't want to take screws out on the back. And there are no screws on the front that I'm aware of. So when you take the cover off in the front, oh, this is much easier. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the one with the front, it's a big hassle. You got to kind of loosen, wiggle the front off, and then the whole battery unit slides out. This looks like they set it up a lot. Oh, much easier for this brand. So let me get the cover out of the way, and I want to show you what this looks like. Yeah, this is a much better design. I'm not sure if the batteries are going to come out easily, but it looks like, let's see what happens. So we've got this front over here. This front might have to pop off. I think it might. Is the back going to come out? The back comes out without a problem. So maybe I can take the back out and then slide the other battery forward, to the back, And what do we have here? I'm looking for it. This says 12 volts, 7 amps. I believe the replacement battery that I bought is a 6 ampere. So you want to make sure that you look at your power wires and see how this thing is wired. Maybe get your cell phone out, take a photograph of everything before you mess with it so that you can put it back together the right way. I'm going to lift this battery out. Make sure this thing is unplugged. And be careful touching contacts. You were still dealing with current in here that could possibly hurt you. So I'm sliding this thing out just to see what I've got here. I'm probably going to go put this on the tripod right now. Always easier to do things when you are not recording a video for people to watch. I've got a piece of plastic that came out of the case. Looks like some of the machining or milling, the plastic just came out. So looking to see if there's anything that I could slide up. I can't really slide this out of the way. I could probably take the front out, take the front off. I don't want to pry it off if I can't take it apart, so maybe I don't need to with this. I'm going to pull this right battery out, and we have these power lugs over here. Let me slide this out. Okay, so that's slid out. There we go. So it's slid out, the positive slid out, and the yellow, which is the negative, slid out. So I'm going to put that over out of the way, and hopefully this battery will slide forward too. It will. So this is much better. You need to watch what you are doing when you buy these batteries. I think I'm going to be okay. I cross-referenced the battery with the model number, but there are two different size lugs. I don't know, I think it's an F1 and an F2, and I believe they are a little bit different in size. So, not that you couldn't get around it if you needed to, but make sure that you look at the documentation, find out what you're getting. I'm hoping this thing slides this way so I don't have to mess with anything, so I don't have to take off the front cover. I'm going to try to slide it this way to get it out. Okay, that worked. And remember, on this one, I've got the battery set over there. The positive is going to go on the top. And on this one, the yellow, which is, I don't know what it is, I'm going to remove this lug. The black lug is on top. And these things are really on there, very tight. So I work on very expensive million-dollar pieces of equipment, so I'm much more gentle than a lot of people who do these videos that just yank things apart and act like an auto mechanic. I don't do that. As you can tell, I'm very gentle when I touch stuff. So I'm going to wiggle this thing off. You might want to have some needle nose pliers, but I don't want to use needle nose. Ow! I don't want to use needle nose because I don't want to put marks on anything. As I said, I work on expensive stuff, and the whole goal is not to ruin it or to damage it. So, so there we go. So the positive on one of these is yellow, and the positive on the other one is red. So let's turn this battery over, and we've got the exact same thing, the 12 volts, 7 amps. So I'm going to go put this on the table in the exact same position that I took it out. And now I'm going to get the new batteries. I have 2 of these, as I said, so I'm going to be doing 2 videos on this. Okay, I've got everything ready to go in. And remember, on this one, you want to check and make sure you've got the protective cover over here. Maybe I could use the same one, I don't know. Or is it held on? No, it's glued on. So, on this one, let me turn this over. This is a 12 volt, 7 amp. They're going to get a little free advertising here because the one that I bought, which was cheaper than buying the one from the company, is 7.5 amps. So I can take this. Looks like this is a protective cover, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off this protective cover, and the difference is. With this has got a little plastic cover on it for protection. This one doesn't. And I don't think I can remove that thing. No, I can't. So, not a big issue. I'm going to, on this one. Alright, so I ended up getting the right tabs, the right lugs. Make sure you put them on all the way. You want good contact. I'm going to slide this down. And I'm going to push it inward over there. And this is the other one. We have the positive on the top. Really important. You don't want to plug this thing in with the wrong connection. You're supposed to dispose of these properly. You're not supposed to put it in the trash can because that's illegal. So I don't really have any place else to put it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I admit, this is saving you millions of dollars in tech repair fees. Okay, the new one. I'm going to take off this protective cover. Be careful where you put these. You don't want it to fall on the ground and have the dog chew on them, or the baby, so, or if you have a baby. So I'm going to be careful because we've got some power in here now, even though I'm not worried about it shorting or shocking me. So I'm going to twist this a little bit, try to get this on. Oh boy, the dog wants to play. Every time I make a video, every time. Let me show you. Attention, and she says, you better stop that video and play. I turned it a little bit to the side because that's how I took it out. It's going to be a little easier to get this back in. Let's zoom in just a bit. So this is a really awkward, it's very awkward setup compared to the one that comes out in the front, but they give you enough room to do this. Just don't put don't put your hand across both terminals. No, don't do that. So with this one, you put the terminals on, make sure they're lined up properly, held down, put it in, slide it forward. I hope this goes in. Man, I hope this goes in. There's always something, isn't there? There's always something. Oh boy. It's a tight fit, guys. It's always a tight fit. Okay, insert it in there into that tight fit. You see how it went in there perfectly. How much easier could that be? Where did I put the cover? Okay, come on, hold on. Looks like everything's done. Get the cover. How does this work? Slide it from the bottom. Slide it in, raise that up. Pop it in. Everything looks good. Got my 2 screws. So this is my spare one that I bought that really hasn't been used much. The batteries are probably fine, but they're old, hasn't been plugged in a couple years, hasn't really been charged. So I thought I'd go out and spend lots of money on batteries so I could make a video for everybody showing them how to do this. And so I'm out some bucks. That's okay. Always good to help people and make good videos. So I want to put this other screw in here, and it's got to be lined up properly because it's trying to cross thread. And so we got that screw in there. That was very easy to do. And I'm going to get these batteries out of the way, and I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to see if it blows up or if it turns on. People, I'm going to plug it in now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I have to press the power button for anything to happen. Okay, let's press the power button. I don't know if it's got to be charged up first. Oh. Okay, so we've got something. What do we have? What we have is a battery that I just put in here that already shows a full charge. I bought this over a month ago. It's been sitting on the floor in the box. So this battery is already powered up and charged. let me see if I can get any other info on this thing. 119 volts, but I'm going to leave it plugged in overnight and charged up, and then I should be good. So that is how you change the battery on the CyberPower. I don't even know what the model number of this is. There's the model number. Kind of hard to read, but I'll put it in the description. So again, as I was saying, with mine, this was very easy to do. All I had to do was go to the bottom, do the 2 screws. Other models, you have 2 screws on the front. You take the front, you do the screws, you slide the front off. You have to wiggle it. It will pop off easily. You can put your hand in there, but you got to do a little wiggling to pry it, to break the plastic lock loose. That comes out, and then you have your 2 batteries that are sliding in, and you just pull them both out that way.